Welcome back again on my channel. What is minor depression? How is it different from major depression? And what does it actually look like if you're experiencing it? That's the topic I'll be addressing today. I'm Dr. Tracey Marks, a psychiatrist who creates educational videos about mental health to help you better understand your emotional well-being. What does depression really mean? The term depression can often be confusing because it's commonly used to describe a temporary emotional state. For example, people may say, "I feel depressed today," or "thinking about the holidays since my dad passed away is depressing." In these cases, depressed is used as an emotional descriptor, not as a clinical diagnosis. However, depression is also the name of a psychiatric disorder, specifically major depressive disorder, MDD, as defined in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM. Unlike transient sadness, this diagnosis involves a combination of persistent symptoms that occur simultaneously and impair daily functioning. What is major depression? Major depression is a serious mood disorder. According to the DSM, it includes 9 possible symptoms. To be diagnosed with a major depressive episode, a person must experience at least 5 out of the 9 symptoms, all occurring at the same time for a minimum of 2 weeks. A helpful mnemonic to remember these symptoms is the word depression, with the letters I and O representing one combined criterion. Depressive mood. E. Energy loss or fatigue. P. Pleasure lost, anhedonia, a lack of interest in previously enjoyable activities. R. Retardation or excitation, a noticeable slowing down or agitation in movement and thought. E. Eating changes, increased or decreased appetite. S. Sleep changes, insomnia or hypersomnia. S. Suicidal thoughts or ideation. I. I'm a failure or a loss of self-worth, hopelessness. O. Only me to blame, guilt or persistent self-blame. N. No concentration, difficulty focusing or making decisions. To meet diagnostic criteria, at least one of the symptoms must be either depressed mood or loss of pleasure, anhedonia. These symptoms represent far more than just feeling sad. They impair your ability to function normally. The impact of major depression on daily life. Living with major depression can feel overwhelming. Many people try to endure the symptoms without seeking treatment, but this can lead to serious challenges. You might struggle to meet obligations, miss work or school, or even find it difficult to get out of bed. If someone does manage to get you up, you might feel like you're just going through the motions, foggy-headed, exhausted, and unable to think clearly. This state can make it nearly impossible to function. In such cases, professional treatment, often in the form of therapy, medication, or a combination, is typically needed. Though major depressive episodes can be self-limiting and may resolve within 3 to 12 months, treatment can significantly ease the burden. Without treatment, there's a risk of recurrence. If you've had one episode, there's a 50% chance you won't experience another. However, once it recurs, the likelihood of future episodes increases. What is minor depression? Now let's talk about minor depression. It's important to note that minor depression is not an official clinical diagnosis. Rather, it's a term used to describe a milder form of depressive symptoms, typically 2 to 4 of the DSM's depression criteria. For instance, someone might feel persistently sad and have difficulty sleeping, but they do not meet the full criteria for major depression. You might wonder how this differs from simply having a bad day. The key difference is that in mild depression, symptoms last at least 2 weeks and often persist much longer. The closest formal diagnosis to what people refer to as minor depression is persistent depressive disorder, PDD, previously known as dysthymia. PDD involves low-grade depressive symptoms that last for 2 years or more. While you can still carry out daily responsibilities, work, school, household chores, there's a constant emotional heaviness, a sense of just getting by without ever feeling truly well. Burnout, a common cause of mild depressive symptoms. Another cause of mild depressive symptoms is burnout. Like minor depression, burnout isn't a formal diagnosis, but it's widely recognized. Burnout happens when you continuously exert yourself with little reward or recognition, whether emotionally, mentally, or physically. Even if your job pays well, the effort may feel meaningless, especially if you're constantly criticized, overworked, or feel exploited by a demanding system. Burnout can create a deep sense of cynicism and emotional exhaustion. Tasks that used to feel easy now seem overwhelming. Although burnout and depression are not the same, the symptoms can overlap. Loss of motivation, fatigue, sleep and appetite changes, and reduced pleasure in daily life. Natural strategies to manage mild depressive symptoms. Unlike major depression, mild depressive symptoms don't always require medication or therapy. Many people find relief through natural interventions, including exercise. Aim for 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise per week, such as brisk walking. Physical activity helps release brain chemicals that improve mood and combat depression. Diet. The Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, and fish, while low in red meat and processed foods, has been shown to reduce depressive symptoms. You can adjust the diet based on allergies or restrictions, e.g., gluten-free or nut-free versions. Sleep hygiene. Chronic sleep deprivation, less than 6 hours of sleep per night over weeks, can worsen or even cause depression. Improving your sleep routine can make a significant difference. Some helpful tips. Wear blue light blocking glasses 2 hours before bedtime. Avoid screens late at night. Use eye covers or blackout curtains to reduce light exposure. Establish a consistent bedtime routine. When sleep problems persist. If sleep remains a problem despite improving habits, short-term use of sleep aids like Ambien, Lunesta, or Dayvigo might help restore a normal sleep schedule. These should be viewed as temporary tools, used for about 1 to 3 months, to help reset your internal clock. They're particularly helpful if you're struggling to shift your sleep time earlier, e.g., moving from a 1 a.m. to a 10 p.m. bedtime. In combination with blue light blocking glasses and better habits, these medications can support your long-term sleep health without leading to dependence. Should you consider medication for minor depression? Medication can help with mild depressive symptoms, but it's important to weigh the potential side effects against the benefits. If natural methods like exercise, diet, and sleep optimization are working, medication might not be necessary. Also, recovery doesn't mean zero symptoms. You may still experience occasional appetite changes or trouble sleeping and still be considered in remission, especially if these symptoms no longer interfere with daily functioning. Before deciding on medication, consider how many symptoms you have and how much they're affecting your life. If you start with 3 symptoms and medication only improves 1, you may not find it worthwhile. Final thoughts. Mild depression is real, even if it doesn't meet the criteria for a formal diagnosis. It can affect your quality of life in subtle but persistent ways. Fortunately, there are evidence-based, natural strategies that can help: exercise, nutrition, sleep hygiene, and stress reduction. For more information, you can watch my videos on exercise and depression and what it means to fully recover from depression. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.